Hello and good morning. This is MDB modified Darvas box coming at you here with a monthly chart review because the month of May just ended, and it's amazing how many traders are like, I can't find signals, I don't understand what's going on, blah blah blah. Well, my response is always, have you ever looked at a monthly chart? It's amazing how many times sometimes looking at a stock chart on monthly view clears everything up when maybe the daily's a mess and the weekly is inconclusive. Well, look to the monthly time frame. So I thought I'd do a quick video here on this because today is June 2nd and the month of May just closed. Perfect time to do a monthly look video and see if there's any signal standing out, uh, which, maybe we want to trade or at least maybe we would just want to know about. But anyways, settle in. I've got my feet on the desk. No rave intro music. That song was stuck in my head all week, so don't worry, I'm not playing it every time. But and I like more like 70s music, 80s, 90s. I'm older, so I prefer good music. But anyways, that's all debatable. For anybody who's never watched any of my videos, I'm an independent trader investor. I've created my own unique trading strategy based on the book How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market by Nicholas Darvas. The book was written in like the 1950s, 1960s. Actually, I think the book was written in 1970 or so, early 70s. But it's based on his experiences in those earlier markets, sorry. Uh, and it's all verifiable trades. It's really interesting. And then I've also got elements of the strategy, uh, which I've adopted and incorporated. And I would definitely advise you to look at multiple strategies. I started off as an Investors Business Daily CanSlim type trader. I learned CanSlim principles, and I really love CanSlim principles. But that strategy itself, as a strategy, is hard, in my opinion. It's a very hard strategy, and I actually gave up on it because the chart patterns that they recommend, cup and handle and saucer with handle and things like that, I just couldn't identify. I struggled so bad. So that's why I really decided I had to create my own system. And my platform here, TC2000, is a wonderful program, and it's allowed me to experiment and find my niche. So I definitely encourage everyone to experiment. Take any good ideas you see, incorporate it into your own, and never stop learning because it's amazing. You always find new things to do. So, okay. With that being said, we're on monthly view. I've got six different lists which I'm going to be looking at, and I don't expect to see a lot of signals here, but maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll be surprised. Current theme in the market has been low volume, weak breakouts. There's a hint of possible recession in the air. Some of the crazies who think that that's going to lead to rate cuts, which will actually save everything. They're a little diluted, but they got a lot of money. So every time that gets breathed, the market gets jammed on programs and stuff. But to navigate this maze, we're going to look and see if there's any trading signals which we can see. As you can see on my charts, I've got box structures listed, and this is on monthly view here, list 6. Weekly is number 1, and I use different colors to identify opportunities. So this here is MLP index. It's got a light gray bar here. That's an inside bar. Inside bars, inside month. Inside bars are basically 50-50 propositions. You see the signal, and then whichever way it breaks up or breaks down, well, that's the way you go. And you can trade off those tops and bottoms, or maybe look for signals on other time frames. But that's how you basically play that. And this is just a signal. This is not a call to place a trade tomorrow or anything like that. This is a signal for preparation. And so at least you can then be prepared. And instead of having to be, real time jerking, slamming orders left and right in a panic, instead you see them the night before or the day before, the weekend before, and you can plan and be prepared to act, set alerts, etc. So this is telling me that the market's sort of gone sideways for this, and it's setting up in a possible up or possible down scenario. So we'll see what happens. Uh, there's other colors on the charts which signify different things. I recommend you use colors. Pink bar here is a sort of a pay attention with a bearish slant. This sort of orange here is a shooter bar, and then right next to it is also a hammer bar. Shooters are bearish, hammers are bullish, but again, they're just signals. So they're signals to prepare for something to happen just in case. And amazingly, ARC, there's an inside month. I expect ARC to go down. I do not recommend it to anybody, but hey, we're just looking at signals here. Oil, no signals. NASDAQ, okay, signals. Well, you wonder when the NASDAQ started really moving. Well, it's signaled here, yellow bar signal. That's a bullish signal, buy signal here. Then it's sort of, this is really when I started changing my tune, and then it sort of went sideways here, and then the market really took off here. It broke out of this mini box back in December, but the weekly chart showed it really started taking off here in November, and then it broke out here in good volume, strong breakout, and then on month three, one, two, three, it really pulled back and really had us questioning: is this thing going to continue? Well, it sure did continue this month four with a resounding, bull move. So, bull market, but, we'll see what happens. Right here, you can look back in history. You say, oh, did these things work? Well, this was 2020 COVID. There's the COVID sell off. There's the rebound, which signaled a buy. And then there you go. And it finally peaked right here on this signal. So, do signals tell you what to do? Yeah, they sure do, but you got to learn how to use them and learn how to use them effectively. And, it's not like you're going to learn them overnight. But here we go. We got Ethereum. There was a inside month signal. Well, if you bought it off of that, you're doing pretty good. Let's see. Anything setting up here? Well, not really much. This here, you see, it's like a box breakout because the market has been doing good, but it's low volume. It's my personal belief low volume breakouts are not as strong as high volume breakouts, but they can work. But you better be prepared that it might not work. So, what is this? China. China's been moving. Now it's got a negative signal right there. Potential negative signal. Let's see where we're going to put that. Something like right there. Here we can move this over a little bit. Maybe that'll work a little better. Yeah, something like that. Well, China might, that's a signal, and we'll see next month, this month in June, what the reaction to that signal is going to be. Bitcoin, if you're wondering, wow, I missed Bitcoin, where should I have bought it? Well, there's your inside month signal right here. And it also formed a box. You had the strong box breakout. I was a buyer in here. Let's go to weekly. And I was a buyer right here, and I tragically sold and then didn't rebuy. And I missed the second leg of this. So I went from like here to here, and I missed from here to here. All right, it happens. I was stupid. What can you do? Gold had a potential bearish signal here, but you see the reaction was higher. So signal is now turned off, and gold is still moving higher. Software, potential bearish signal, which makes sense. Software's been not doing good. And notice this. Let's say you were bearish on software before. Well, you had an inside month trigger to the downside, and definitely volatile, but close the month. Software is sort of in a pullback at this moment, which is kind of strange because the NASDAQ is breaking out. Software's technology, right? Huh. Interesting. Shouldn't software be going higher? Well, it is what it is. Inside on housing, inside there, inside IWM, healthcare inside. Interesting how many sectors have inside months, which means sort of like a sideways month. And they're set up to maybe go down or up for June. So June may actually be a very interesting month. More interesting than May or April or any of the preceding months we've had. So we'll see how that is. This year's transportation index. Hey, if we are going into a recession, should the transports be going down? Well, gee, look at this. We had a low volume box breakout. It kind of futzed around up here and then crashed back down. Breakout terminated. And now it's that's definitely indecisive. How about volume? No big green volume, but some red volume. Is recession coming? Well, possibly. Equal weighted NDX. Well, if this is the equal weighted NASDAQ, there's the full NASDAQ, which has the Magnificent Seven stocks. That one's pointed to the moon. Equal weighted is sort of struggling. So your average NASDAQ stock, well, it's not participating. 50-50 bar right there. Set up. We already know about gold. There's the Qs. Qs signal started back here in early 2023. And yeah, it's been moving up, but low volume breakout. But yeah, it's moving higher. No big signals there. RSP, equal weighted S&P. Inside month. Man, June might be a really interesting month here. You got all kinds of things starting to need to be priced in. You got rates, you got possible economic stuff, you got possible election stuff, because how many months are we from November? 5? 5 months? I'm voting for Donny Boy, but who knows what kind of crazy stuff's going to happen. Orange Man bad. Actually, I think Orange Man good, but we will see what happens. Semiconductors moving up, no signals, nothing there, all moving high, up. Interesting here, this is the S&P 500. Been moving up out of a box. There's some volume and anything like that, but when you compare it again to the equal weight struggling. So again, there's the impact of all those AI, the NVIDIAs, the it's so narrow. It's so concentrated in these just a few names. I wouldn't call it broad-based, that's for sure. These are sentiment indicators. The TAN, everybody's favorite new darling, the solar. You see any signals on the monthly? The weekly had signals. The yellow bar signal, not bad. If you bought at the top of the signal here, you're up a little bit. But on a monthly, is this ready to go with a huge monthly move? I wouldn't call it that. TLT is inside. Well, this is setting up interesting for a trade on interest rates, up or down. Box breakout on uranium. So if you're unsure on the weekly, the monthly is telling you it's go time. Look at that. So there's a great difference between an average weekly chart with a box breakout here, but some selling here, and then an inside week, again, inside's 50-50. But now we look on the monthly, and that's telling us it's go time. So there might be a trade in here. Do we want to own anything related to uranium? Yeah, we might. So right there is the difference between looking at stuff on different time frames. The VIX, look at the VIX. Just note here, one technical indicator I do use is Bollinger Bands. And they're noteworthy for measuring sort of volatility, and when they squeeze together, it means volatility is constricting, and that quote something is going to happen, and that something will then force the bands open. But the more they squeeze like that, the more it means we're building up to something. But what? I don't know. Nobody knows. But we could make some educated guesses. Housing inside, home builders inside, XLE, energy went up, but now it's sort of slowly pulling back. Nothing. I'd call energy bullish, but not crazy bullish. Same on XLF. Look at that. Went up, came back, sort of violated this, and then closed above it, and now resolved higher. Interesting. All right, let's get a move on, and we'll start looking at stock charts with monthlies. This is list 2, which should be the best of the best, and what we want to see is, the same on the monthly that we see on the weekly. And this looks fantastic. Look at this. Green, 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 green. Some people out there say that volume is irrelevant. Me, I'm like, I take the opposite. Volume couldn't be more relevant, in my opinion. When the big boys are buying and doing their thing, I want to do what the big boys are doing. Imagine taking the opposite view and getting run over and thinking you're correct. Unbelievable. But that looks fantastic. Here's Bros. I traded it. We got a blue bar, which sort of means a little excess exuberance. And historically, blue bars like this tend to be followed by a red bar or a consolidation. They don't go very far. But, a lot of people have been buying it lately. I think this is overall a good company. I think it has too many shares outstanding, and at 6 billion market cap, based on its based on its results, I think it's kind of fully valued at the moment. I've got a handy little tool. Let's see, it did 275 million here. It had a 9 cent roughly break even. Wait a minute. Oh no, it can't calculate that based on 0, but this is a very good report. But if we do a price to sales metric on 1220 in sales, we're already at 6, so we're already at like 5 times sales based on the market cap here. So to me, that's roughly for a drinks and coffee company, 5 times sales is probably pretty well valued based on the results we're seeing right now, because it's gone from 250 to 275, 20 over a year. That's not all that fabulous growth, but who knows? I think long term this will be better, but I took the quick trade on it. But if I had other money in much longer term accounts, sure, I'd be interested in this. So that was a little primer on price to sales valuation, which if you're going to do fundamentals, you don't need to know a lot about fundamentals, but price to sales is a very nice common metric, and you can apply it to just about every company. And just know this, 10 times price to sales is considered way overdone. 20 times is just absurd. Many tech companies get 20 times or even higher. And they can trade at that level for a long time, but when the music stops, woof, they get torn apart. Kava, look at this. Monthly chart. There was a monthly breakout here, and look at this. Green, 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 green. Boy, this was a real shake and bake in here, but it resolved higher. Who says monthly charts are useless? Not I. And maybe we should have been buying it here, but oh well. I've never been to one of those restaurants. We don't have any near me, so I have no idea. This one here, box breakout sort of, had some volume, and look at it go. And it struggled this month and then resolved higher, and look, the volume. Looks great. Carvana, great. Great moves. Oof, look at that. There's that first solar. You know, one thing about First Solar, it's way above this monthly Bollinger Band thing. And Bollinger Bands are basically kind of like how options look at volatility. It's basically set the line between when price is abnormal versus normal. And what happens is computers tend to sell when the price is abnormal. And that's what shoves them down back to the normal range. So this may need a month or two of consolidation up here. Not that it's going to crash, but just might go sideways for a couple months. I know many people on Twitter are pumping First Solar here, saying, "Oh, it's looking great." Personally, I don't think you're going to make a dime on it buying it here. Probably needs a couple months before you'll make some real good money on it. But who knows? I might be wrong. Hood, yeah, look at that. There's the breakout. And there's that inside month. And look how it's resolved. But, oof, it traded tough. Not an easy one. Because look at that. It was down here for a smidge. But it's looking bullish now. This one, I own it. ML, I bought it back here in August. Where's August? Somewhere in there. And I own this one. It's doing great. It had a signal here, which scared the hell out of me. But when a signal fails, that's bullish right there. So this on the weekly has given a bearish shooter bar here on the weekly. But the monthly looks fine here. So, and I know that fundamentally this one is doing things I really like. So I'm probably not going to worry about it. But we'll keep an eye on it. Yellow bar signal on mRNA. This is the company that does vaccines. I think they should be sued to the ground. But, you know, it is what it is. I just won't touch that one. But I'll track it because it's looking bullish. NVIDIA or NVIDIA. Just gorgeous uptrend. There's that on a monthly. There's the box breakout. Looks great. If you trend followed it, you had and used monthly, you had a little scary spot there, but otherwise it's been, you know, nothing to worry about. It's got the big split coming up. Oh, look at that. I gotta adjust that. Do any of you guys buy shoes, on shoes or ON? What do you got here? You got a monthly box breakout. Look at that. Put this one on your lists. Weekly has a box breakout also right there. So I tried their shoes once and I didn't like them, but a friend told me I tried the wrong pairs, so I might have to give this one another look. But that looks very bullish. PI moving there. There's no signals. No signal. SE. There's a signal right there, but it's a failed signal, which was a buy signal. I own this one. Box breakout on SMTC. Put this one on your lists. Right there. I don't know what it does, but it's bullish. This one, I love it. Shark Ninja. I have no idea what this one does, but look at that. There's that one and two different buy signals on the monthly. VST looks great. This one looks overbaked on the monthly because there's that Bollinger Band line. Now, yeah, sure, it could go higher, but that may be a bit overcooked at the moment. Fantastic run. I wish I had known about it. Walmart. Oh, where did my box go? Oh, I don't know. Zim? Yeah, volume doesn't matter. Here's them buying it big right here. It then consolidated a few months, and now, boom, box breakout. I wasn't watching this, but I wish I had been. If I had, I would have totally been long this one because on the weekly you got the yellow bar and there's the box breakout, and it's been basically straight up ever since then. I stopped watching this one like back in here, and big mistake. I had no idea. I can only watch about 100 or so stocks before my brain just turns to sort of jelly. And that's why on some of these, when we miss them, it's like, okay, well, I missed it. But I'm watching it now, and that's the important thing. Apple sideways. Oh, so I went to list three. List three here is bullish signals, but not as good as list two. And Apple probably shouldn't even be in here, but on the weekly it's in here, which is why I have it. Sideways. AI, ugh, sideways. But AI gave a bullish yellow bar signal here on weekly. But monthly, nothing to I know about. AMD, Bill. I am short Bill. This just looks awful. Look at this. Red, 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 red. And now you got a pink bar signal on the month, which means pay attention with a bearish slant. Now, I'll be expecting price to, in June, to keep going down. But here's the thing about this. What if the market changes its mind? Well, it could happen. So basically, I'm going to be watching this very closely. But the expectation is for more down. And when you short, this is what you got to look for. You got to look for stuff that's awful. And this qualifies to me as awful. And when I short, I'm looking for gains of maybe around 20%, because most times it takes forever for a company to go lower. But I use shorts as hedges on existing longs. Because if the markets are going to go down, well, let's make a little bit of money to offset the losses on the long side. What is this? CCJ, that's the part of uranium. Box breakout, volume's low, but we know uranium's positive. Costco, moving higher. Notice here on Costco, not really a box breakout, but see it moves higher. Trending higher. And I like to sit long term if possible. I'm not a trade flipper like in and out, or I try not to be. So based on your goals, this might help you or it might not. I don't know. Crocs, yellow bar signals, right there. This had two of them. Now, I was paying attention to these, but I'm just not a big fan of Crocs and the shoes and all that. But it was telling you that something was potentially changing. Nothing there, nothing there. Okay. Here's when I bought. So, GH. Basically looks like a short, right? Red, 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 red. Well, volume tells us, some people took some interest in here. Okay. Not enough to stop the trend, but maybe to make it go more sideways. And they kept selling red, 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 red. But now something happened. Pink bar, which means pay attention. Well, what happened? All of a sudden it's turned around. It's turned around, and the weekly had bullish signals as well. Yellow, this stuff here. Now this is more of a biotech, so it's got news coming. But so I took a position, not a huge position, but I was a buyer, and I'm thinking the news might turn out to be pretty good. Well, that's what we're banking on. So we'll see what happens. But is trend beginning to change on this one? It looks like it to me. Stuff like Google breaks out, but that's not really a volume breakout, but it just moves higher. And we're looking for near-term signals. JP Morgan had a pink bar there, and now look, it's resolved higher. So financials are figuring their way. LMT inside. Might go higher soon. MU, no signals, higher. This one, RDX. That's a defense one. That looks great. Pointed higher, Stinger. TMDX, yep. So I think you're getting the idea here about looking at monthly stocks, monthly charts. Airbnb, breakout here, even on volume, no less. Move up. I'm not so sure about that. And now it has a box breakout failure. I'm actually bearish on this one. If the economy is starting to do worse, the average consumer is not doing that great. So yeah, I think Airbnb might be a short, but is it screaming it? No, not really. Firm doing nothing, going down. A-Lab, I'm short this one. I shorted this on a weekly view right here, inside, double inside. And I think this one's way overvalued based on price to sales. And now, this is what I'm going to be looking for in June. I'm going to be looking for a break of this line. And I'm going to look for a break of this one also, just because we got two in a row. Price goes down here, then look out, it's going a lot lower. And the history of IPOs is that they tend to go down more than they go up. Because they're brand new, nobody knows jack about them, you know. Let's see. This one looks great. Box breakout. See, for the trend follower who can sit, my strategy or a Darvas type strategy is perfect for you. If you can take a reasonable position and then sit on your butt and do nothing and wait for a signal, you can ride trends and get through the volatility and just sit. And next thing you know, you'll have sat in this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, for 10 months. And you're on the verge of a long-term capital gain where you'll save, well, more money will go into your pocket instead of the government's. So this is the benefit of a Darvas type strategy, is to try and sit for long periods of time. Look at these gorgeous trends. Any signals here on monthly? Any negative signals? No. Did you have to sit through some stuff here for several months? Yeah. But so what? If you bought down here, that's fine. Nothing to get worried about. The one thing that's hard to do is to say, I love it on the monthly, and then constantly flip to daily and weekly to evaluate it. If you bought it because you love the monthly chart, then in my opinion, you should then look for signals on the monthly to get out. If you bought it based on the weekly chart, look for weekly signals to get out. You know, just got to evaluate. If you time frame hop, that doesn't help. Sell H, we got two bearish signals. One right here, a shooter bar. It activated here and then had a big rebound, and now it's activated again. Kind of a mess, huh? Slightly bullish, because it did have the box breakout, but this is just a mess in here, in my opinion. And what you really want is for all the signals just to be in harmony. You know, and the weekly looks great, the monthly looks great. Why wouldn't you buy it? CRWD, the dogger gave it up. See that line right there? A lot of time wasted on this one if you bought it. But not really a candidate. Dell, guess what? They're in the business of selling AI computers and they make no money doing it. So I think the market's very generous, only dropping it to 139, but this still looks way hot overbaked based on the Bollinger Band. So we'll see if Dell goes down below that in June. Yeah, no good. Nothing there. Oh, say it isn't so. MDB. Box breakdown and a white bar sell signal. Ugh, how could they do that to me? But there hasn't really been a reason to own this for a long, since 2021. Looks awful. Net, I'm short this one. This is what I like to see. White bar sell signal. Woo. This is one which I believe is just way overvalued at 23 billion. I think it could go down another 50%, maybe down to here. But a good one for hedging my portfolios. The weekly on this one's a lot worse looking. Here, 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 just pointed down. But it takes a while to get there. The time element. And Jesse Livermore talked about the time element. Pan W sideways, but I think this one's bearish, but I don't see any call to action. Root. Huge one here, pink bar signal. Now this may come down or it may go back up, I don't know, but it was way overbaked above the Bollinger Bands here and here. So now it's back in the normal range. I'm gonna watch this one a bit closer here in June. Shop. That's a white bar sell signal, and it had a sell signal right here as well. Is the consumer doing great? You wouldn't think of it from Shop. SMCI, inside month. And you know what? With this one, let's put an alert on this. If Dell doesn't make any money on computers, is SMCI making any money? Interesting. Snow, I'm short this one. Based on the monthly, this looks fantastic for down. Signal right here, activated right here, the white bar sell signal. It's still going down. I think this one, and if I'm lucky, I'm short it. If I'm lucky, it then does a box breakdown on big red volume also, and then it really tumbles. So you see there's ways of finding longs, and then there's also ways of finding shorts. And I'm willing to trade both sides of the coin. And shorting's easy. It's just the opposite of what you think would be great long. It's just, you just can't expect shorts. If you make 20% on a short, you're probably going to want to cover it. That's probably the only difference. Uber, that's potential sell signal there on Uber. It was so hot. Had the greatest breakout right here. Had a great run to here, but the weekly chart showed this. There's that breakout. I traded from here to here. I felt stupid when it kept going higher. Here's the big signal, and it never went higher after this bar. Went sideways, and now a box breakdown, and nothing looks good on this now. And again, does that imply a strong consumer? No, probably not. Anecdote. A friend of mine just flew to New York, landed in LaGuardia Airport, and was going to call an Uber. The Uber to get into Manhattan was like $90 with tip, $100. Man, that's expensive, in my opinion. But I live in Florida. It's cheaper here. Workday. There's that shooter bar signal trying to break out, and instead it triggered to the downside. And look at that. From 300, 290, 280, and down to 211 and counting. Who knows? This might come all the way down to here, maybe. And a lot of companies use Workday also. Isn't that interesting? Why is Workday doing so poorly if they're in all these companies? Probably because there's no growth. They're so successful, now they can't grow. ZS looking bearish as well. All right. Well, we've been doing a lot more, so let's see if there's anything. We'll whip through these last two and then wrap. All these ones should look pretty bad. Yeah, AMR. Coal tried to trigger, didn't. Inside. Inside on ARM. Are you in love with ARM? Well, inside month. Might be a trade to the upside or the trade to the downside. Now, it looks upside, but who knows? This one here, oh, Asan. Actually, this is a premature box drawing. The low of the box has not been set. It usually needs a couple of points, a couple bars after to set it. And this one's still happening, but I don't know why I even track this one. I'm never going to buy it. I'm watching it go into the ground. It started up here, and look at this. It's done nothing. And again, when I'm whipping through charts, I'm looking here over on the right side. What is this? Ford? Uh-oh. White bar signal. Is the consumer struggling? Maybe. Boxes within a box. I keep an eye on this one because I've been interested by it, but it's no good right now. As Q Maggie might say, is that a 5-star setup? No, it is not. Steel making. Signal here, but didn't really do much. We'll keep an eye on that. Pink, interesting. Roblox might be done going down, maybe. Keep an eye on that one more. This is a new IPO. See, IPOs tend to go down. Rivian, down, nothing. Yeah. So monthlies are usually very easy to go through because you can whip through them fast. Amazon, any signals? No, not really. Nothing there. Lovely uptrend, but were there any signals on the monthly to get long? No, not really. It's just been going up because the market's been going up. Any big volume here? Nope. Simply because they take the index higher and it goes up with the index. Anything there? Nope. Berkshire. 50-50. Inside. Ooh. Heavy equipment. Caterpillar. Pink bar. And now a shooter bar. Yeah, if we go into recession, this probably will come down. But we're not in recession. It's just threatening recession. Coin, for all the Bitcoin lovers, this is basically impossible to interpret. It had a downside trigger that triggered for a nanosecond. I actually tried it a little bit and it didn't work. And now it's come back up, but is that a strong buy signal? No, that's a nothing. So don't get overworked. Here's one for the long term. Box breakout on CPNG, but you got to have patience for this one. It's moving very slowly. Home builders. There's a warning shot there. 50-50 bar. I tried to short that one. Didn't work. Donny boy. Look at this. Donald J. Trump might be setting up for a trade here. But it's 50-50. It could go up or down. I don't know. But you know what? I bet you if it goes up, Everybody wants a squeeze in GME. Maybe the squeeze happens on this one. I mean, I have no edge, but you see, that's a setup right there. That's a signal. Now we got to wait for the reaction to the signal. What was that from? This one, this basically interprets the market can't make heads or tails what to do. Inside month, triggered for nanosecond, triggered to the upside for a nanosecond, ended up mixed. The market has no idea what to do with that one. Here's your GME, yellow bar buy signal, but beyond that, who can tell? Meta inside Monday. Oh, now big tech company, overvalued in my opinion. There's a potential sell signal bar. Got NU on NUE on here twice. Nothing there. Nothing. Plant. Nothing. Nothing. Rig. Nothing. I've always liked this stock, but inside month 50-50. Pay attention. Natural gas here had a little bit of a breakout, but low volume. All right, so, oh, there, Tesla. Forgot Tesla was here. So look at Tesla, and we'll wrap on this one. Box breakdown, but no volume. Sort of screwing around here. Had a bullish bar here, but it didn't trigger. Now it's got a 50-50 inside month. The box is fully formed. It's negative box because it, did three below. And now, yeah, you could go up or you could go down. Based on automotive trends and everything, I'll bet you this is going down. So set the alerts. And if they trigger, be prepared if they go off. But this one might be a short sell right there. All right. Up URI inside month, economically sensitive. We'll have to see. June is going to be a banger of a month. Oh, what a great chart. And that's it for charts. Okay, there's your start signal, and look at that. Okay, so that's it for monthly charts. Hope you enjoyed this one and learned something new. And pay attention to those signals. And we'll see what happens this upcoming month. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.